So people are always asking, what sort of collector car should I buy? What's going to go up the most? What's going to be a great investment going forward? And my first question is, what price range are you in? What are you looking to do with the car? And ultimately, are you going to race the car? Or are you going to drive it on the street? Lately, a big part of our business are race cars. Let me go through a bunch of different type of race cars and a bunch of different investment grades or different levels. So the first one, this car is super special. So this is one of the highest investment type race cars that you would buy. It's a prototype, it's a GT40, one of the original lightweight cars, won its class at Daytona. The car was a big part of Ford becoming ultimately the Le Mans winner in 66, 7, 8, and 9. So this is a super special car. 5 prototypes built, 3 remaining, one of the 2 lightweight cars. What's really cool with any of the race cars is obviously the history, but what's also really cool is the drivetrain. So in this car here, you have a 289. Basically, it's a 289 hypo with a set of 48 IDA Webers, but it was a purpose-built car. Even though they built 31 street cars, the race cars were purpose-built. The street cars were very much like the race cars. These cars were designed to ultimately go well over 200 miles an hour. Really special car, great history. This is the pinnacle of investing in a race car. Also, 8 figures by the time you get down to it, which is a crazy amount of money. What's great about these cars is not only are they just a sexy looking car, but do they ever sound good. When this little 289 with a set of 48 IDA Webers and these bundle of snake headers, that's what they call it because they look like a bundle of snakes, is running down the Mulsanne Straight at 7,000 RPM, it is a great sounding car. We're going to fire this up and let you hear it. Here's another great investment grade racing car. It's a 1951 212 Export Ferrari Barchetta touring body. They built 8 of these cars. This particular car ran at Le Mans in 1951. Great history, great story. There's nothing that sounds as good as a 12-cylinder Colombo engine. Have a look at this little thing. 2.6 liter 12-cylinder, tiny little pistons, tiny little valves, tiny little exhaust pipes here. But when this thing fires up, it is one of the most beautiful sounding engines you'll ever hear. And at 7,000 RPM, just incredible. This car will be accepted at any vintage race around the planet. You'll be able to do the Mille, you'll be able to do any touring event in this car. It's accepted anywhere. It's a super special car, but again, dollars to get in, extremely high. Great car, big money. So now we get into the world of reality. Here's a great race car, raced from brand new, a 59 Corvette, 283 Fuel car, big brake car, factory black, red interior, raced from brand new, tons of paperwork, tons of race wins, just an exceptional car and a beautiful restoration. A small block Chevy, nothing really exotic. When they raced these cars, they had to run them with manifolds back then. So this isn't a throaty sounding, 427 Ford engine. This is a nice sounding, fairly high revving for 1959 engine, but affordable. Now we're finally into a car that has great history, great looks, rare options, the Fuelie with the big brakes, beautiful restoration, and you're into this for about $250,000 with great paperwork. When you fire this car up, it sounds good, it's fun. You could take it on the Colorado Grand. It would be a fun car to go whip around the streets on or occasionally go for a track event. But this car isn't going to win any vintage races today. It's period correct, but a very good investment at a reasonable price. Let's say it's in the $250,000 to $300,000 range. So if you were to ask me what is an up-and-coming car, race car, that has lots of upside potential, that's a ton of fun to drive, that has great history, and you could vintage race it today and be safe, let's face it, the GT40 today at 200 miles an hour, not the safest car. 212 Barchetta, again, not the safest car. This car here, you can hit the wall at 200 miles an hour and walk away. But here's what I love about this car. This was the championship car from 1999. Dale Jarrett won the championship for Ford. Robert Yates was the engine builder, but also the team owner. This is exactly the way the car left the racetrack. Matter of fact, they just cleared over all the stickers. It was signed up there by Dale Jarrett. Yates had signed it. It's one of those cars that has great history, great pedigree, has never been damaged or hurt really bad. Super simple, 358, aluminum head, Ford engine, single 4 on the thing, but an honest 7,500 RPM engine and live all day. It's got a nice dry sump system. It's got power steering, so it's relatively easy to drive, and the car is super safe. I mean, look how this car is built. The thing is like a tank. So I'm gonna fire this thing up so you can hear just how crazy this thing sounds. The one downside to this car is it's a little awkward to get into for the average guy. But once you're in, super comfy, you feel really safe, and they're a ball to drive. So here's the deal. You get a championship winning car, you get a super fast car, you get a super safe car, you get a car that has a lot of history to it, and the car is $75,000. You couldn't build the car for triple the money. Today it's about $400,000 to build a current stock car. The car has great upwards potential. You can go vintage race the thing. There's a whole class now for vintage NASCARs. Ton of fun to drive, inexpensive to operate, cheap to get in, championship car. This is the car that I can see going up 100% in the near future.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to drop a like and a comment now to help our channel get seen. Hit subscribe and check out our other videos for more Legendary Motorcar.